and welcome to Add More Zest. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. And yes, today's WIP and Chat, I'm doing Mr. Quackers again. It has been a very, very busy week, which I will no doubt waffle about on this WIP and Chat. And I was in the middle of working on Mr. Quackers, sort of taking a little bit of downtime after a very busy day. And I thought, let's finish the rest of this section, maybe, hopefully, in this WIP and Chat. So I've done the white. That's what I've done in this section. We are getting onto a bit of the body. I think I was down here last time I did a WIP and Chat, so I have sort of finished that strip and started on to the next one, but there's quite a bit of colour on this bit, so I thought it'll be a change from me doing a lot of white. But firstly, it's been a while since I have filmed a video, because last weekend, as you may well have heard in my last waffle, we did a bedroom switch. So I did my last WIP and waffle on the Friday evening. I prepped all of my videos for the week before that, I think. I think I did them all before that. If not, I did them on that weekend. This whole past week has become a bit of a blur. So because of that, I did prep them all before, because it was also shop launch weekend. So I'd prepped them all ready for shop launch weekend so that I would have free time. And then we decided to do a bedroom switch, which was partly able to be done due to the fact that I had got my videos prepared, which then resulted in a very crazy weekend, what's been a very, very crazy week. And yeah, this is my first video I've done since then, even though you guys, of course, have had them to see pretty much all week. But this weekend has been very busy as well. So just for some context, I'm filming this on Saturday evening, ready for Sunday, after yet another very busy day. And I was just sitting, switching off, diamond painting, and I thought, you know what, we've got a lot on tomorrow. While hubby is doing some of it, it is noisy work he's doing. So let's get my WIP and Chat done, and you guys can see me finish off this big section. So I'll go through the questions first, I think, because some of them will be asking about topics, that have happened over this past week, like how did the bedroom move and stuff go. So we'll see how many topics that I've sort of got in my head to chit chat about come up in the questions. And then if there's anything that I actually remember while talking to you guys that didn't come up, then I'll waffle about those at the end, depending on how far we go. But I am doing my Mr. Quackers. This is from Diamond Art Studio UK. I will pop a link to him in the description box. If you just click, if you're on a mobile, just click on the little tiny arrow. The description box will drop down, and I'll put a link for him in there, along with our discount code if you'd like a few pennies off. Pennies make pounds, and they always help. So I will pop a discount code down below for you guys as well, in case you want your own Mr. Quackers to name whatever you want. But we've got a few questions / comments from last week's Mr. Quackers video. And the cat lady, she says she's currently working on a painting that is very heavy on the black. Ooh, I think I prefer heavy on the white to heavy on the black, but hers is very heavy on the black. And she leaves the black drills. Oh, have I got a diamond under there? I think I've got a diamond stuck that's got a little bit of a nib on it. Where was I? Here. That's where I can see it. Oh, that one's flicked, but it's not that one, it's this one. And I've actually just knocked the little knob off it. It's there. And these tweezers are a little bit bent. You know, in the diamond has just a little sticky out bit. There we go. Got it. Okay. It can stay on the tweezers. And I've found the diamond that flicked. So I'll put that back. Yeah, so she leaves her black drills in one of the large trays and uses the smaller tray for other colours. I like that idea. Especially on the likes of this painting where there's a lot of white and it's often in, you know, it can often go quite over a few sections, and quite often I can do a couple of sections per evening. I think the other night I did 3, and there was bits of white that appeared all the way across. So rather than uncovering all of it, not knowing how much I'm going to do, I could just leave white in a tray and do it as I come across it on each section. That's a good idea. I like that one. Cat Lady also says when she moved houses earlier this year, she left her 8-foot Christmas tree behind for the new owners, as it went really well in the bay window in the front of the house. And she bought a smaller tree last year as she didn't want to get the big one out the loft. So this year will be a new type of Christmas in the new house. She says a lot more quiet, so not so much red and green. We tend to get a real tree each year now. When the children were younger, we did used to have a fake tree, and they'd come home from school and the tree base and lights would be up, and then we'd put all the decorations on together. But we do tend to get a real tree now. I do like the real tree, even though we tend to get the it's a spiky type one. I'll have to find out what the actual name of it is. Maybe ready for the December WIP and Waffle or the Advent calendar. Try and find out the name of it when we pick it up. But it's a spiky tree, but it doesn't tend to drop its needles and stuff, and it's just really strong smelling. So it doesn't overpower the room. But I do like having the real tree. Melissa says she loves looking at Christmas in the range. Yes, there is something about, they do Christmas big style, the range in the UK, the shop. It is always quite nice to have a look. She also loves looking in her local garden centres. Yes, we have one main garden centre locally that does Christmas. Oh, absolutely amazing. It is in no way cheap. No way at all. I have had a few decorations from there in the past, but if you just enjoy Christmas, it is amazing what some garden centres can put on. But one local to me is fairly well known for its Christmas. It is pretty special. I actually haven't been in a few years. Maybe that's something that I can try and squeeze in. I'm not sure when. Oh, I thought I'd dropped a diamond. Just fell off the diamond painting and rolled in front of me. She started Christmas shopping herself, as she said she does have a lot going on in November and December. She says she has her mum and dad's wedding anniversary, her mum's birthday, her brother's birthday, and her sister's birthday all before Christmas. And Crafty by Kaz says she has the same. So she has her father-in-law's birthday, her sister's and her husband's, and they're all within like 3 days. Right near Christmas. Yeah, it does definitely make it a little bit different having so many birthdays near Christmas, but we have one on the 19th is my daughter's birthday. So yeah, we don't quite have loads, but we do have enough to mean that I do need to do some planning. Anna says have fun with the bedroom swap. And Tina, she says, as I spilt my drills, which, you know, we all love when I do on camera, shows that I'm not the only one. She says, as I spilt mine, she dropped her tray all over the floor. But she had to laugh because of the timing. Oh, well, at least it made it a little bit easier to know you weren't the only one. She said, hope the room moves went smoothly. Yes, pretty much they did. So let's discuss the room switch for a bit so I can stop looking at the questions screen. But for anybody that watched the WIP and Waffle last week, I'd filmed it very late on a Friday because we took the decision to switch bedrooms. So since the two eldest have moved home, while all three girls used to be in the big bedroom at the front, since the older ones had either moved out or gone to uni, we'd switched bedrooms and taken the master bedroom back. And my youngest had gone into the smaller room that we were in. And she does, you know, she's grown into that space. And of course, as the older two were away with their own rooms, they grew into their space as well. So when the older two came home, it wasn't even practical to move all three girls back into the main master bedroom. It just wouldn't have been suitable. So we had a conservatory built on the back of the house, which we were thinking of doing anyway, and we'd sort of push forward anyway, but this became, you know, an extra reason to do it. And the conservatory on the back of our house is pretty big. It's bigger than the front room, and that's become our front room now. It's become our living space. It's got our dining table, it's got a computer, it's even got parts of the shop, but it is our living space now, and we love it. And the two older girls took what was the front room as their bedroom. And we discussed, a few weeks ago, we discussed the possibility of us actually switching rooms. So we would have the bedroom downstairs and the girls would have the bedroom upstairs, which they really liked the idea because they spend, you know, they spend time downstairs with us, of course, but they do, you know, like the idea of when they go away to spend time in their bedroom, that it is upstairs and out the way. Whereas hubby and I, you know, even in the master bedroom, like we'd just go there when we were going to bed. So it made sense for us to actually switch. I like the idea as well, just in the basis that, you know, downstairs would be less cluttered, I suppose, and more of a, you know, a chill space. And, you know, when you walked in the hallway, and the front room in effect was, even though it was a bedroom, it was set out as less of a, they're not teenagers anymore, but you can imagine teenager-ish bedroom. They're in their 20s now. So I like the idea of downstairs being a bit less full on, and them having upstairs is basically the kids area now, apart from the bathroom. So yeah, we decided to do a switch. So we started, it actually went really, really well, considering how crazy it could have gotten. But we started about 10:30, 11, something like that. We actually got, by the time it got to about 2 o'clock, I think we had got everything bar big pieces of furniture moved. And as you can imagine, if any of you have got teenagers or, 20-year-olds, young adults living with you, especially the female version, a bit more so than the male version. I much would have preferred to swap rooms with my son, a lot less stuff. They have a lot of stuff, and I like organising. Megan also can be extremely good at organising stuff, and therefore it's amazing what we can manage to cram into not a tiny space, but the amount of stuff for the space that it is, you'd class it as a small space. It is one of those, when you take everything out the space, it's as though it's exploded. It's a bit like my pantry in the kitchen. Everything is organised and has a place, but if I take everything out to give it a sort out, it does look like, the whole house has exploded. Same with my craft room. If you've seen my craft room tour, it's amazing what I can fit in my craft room. However, if I took everything out of my craft room, the conservatory would look like an absolute bomb site. So yeah, it took us a while, but we managed to get everything moved out. Most of it got just put into the conservatory while we moved the big furniture. So hubby moved our bed and our wardrobe were the two main pieces. There was also chest of drawers, actually, that was quite big, bedside cabinets. Took apart what he needed to take apart and switched it. And then the girls' room, apart from their beds had been taken down and sort of, folded up ready. And it was about, by the time we'd got our furniture downstairs and made up, so we had our bed back to rights, we had the wardrobe made up, we had all of our clothes put back in, we got the chest of drawers and everything moved back down. It was about 6 o'clock, and the girls had already picked what wallpaper they'd wanted. They'd actually already ordered it. And they decided that it might actually be a bit easier to decorate their room before putting everything back in. So they asked if we were okay with their stuff, in effect, staying downstairs in the conservatory until the following day. Like, could we live with their mess everywhere for another day while they decorated their room? And that's what we did. So at 6 o'clock, the three girls were painting the walls in their bedroom, and I started wallpapering. They had one wall wallpapered, which was the same wall that my hubby and I had paper on originally. So they stripped that wall of wallpaper while I was sorting out things in our bedroom, so that we could live. Try and get some of, the clothes back in the wardrobe and all those sorts of things. And they stripped all the walls and started painting. And then I papered. So if anybody saw the Instagram story, I did try to put a couple of pictures up as stories. I think it was about 12:30 at night. I'm pretty sure I didn't go to bed until about 1:45. I finally finished wallpapering their bedroom. They'd finished painting, so because all three girls were painting. Ooh, this glue dot is a little bit too sticky. Let's just dab it on my clothes and see if that helps. yes, because all three girls were painting, they managed to get 2 coats of paint on all the walls. We got it papered. Then between us, we just got their mattresses up the stairs. So the girls just had something to sleep on that evening. And then on the Sunday, they spent the day then making their beds. They even went to IKEA first thing in the morning to get a bookcase that they wanted, which of course they didn't want to get beforehand because they needed to decorate. And yeah, they then spent pretty much all of Sunday sorting out, putting away all their bits from in the conservatory, getting all the things tucked away, back under beds where it needed to be, etc., etc., and got their room straight. And I spent Sunday afternoon packing all orders that didn't have a diamond painting with them first. That was the first lot that I packed on the Sunday, was any orders that didn't have a diamond painting, to take that out the equation, and then we could work out how many had one of our exclusive Advent, well, you don't have to use it for Advent, but one of our exclusive paintings that I got to do for the Advent, and work out how many international orders we had compared to none. So I spent all of Sunday packing orders while Megan sorted out her bedroom. And yeah, very, very busy weekend. Through the week, I spent Monday, Tuesday, I think, probably getting all the diamond paintings that we got in, all of those packed up and shipped out internationally. And yeah, then spent a couple of evenings just doing nothing because I was exhausted. And then this weekend, so all day today, hubby and I have then been in our bedroom stripping the wallpaper. So anybody that lives in the UK, having wallpaper on your walls is, probably the normal. It's swaying a little bit more towards painting over papering. But if anybody lives in an older house, you'll know that quite often you would just wallpaper your walls. I know it's a little bit different in other countries, but we do live in an older house, not an old house, but older, about 1940s, I think our house was built. So it's not necessarily got the cleanest, straightest walls. And yeah, so all of our front room was wallpapered. We did have a feature wall, and then we had just a textured wallpaper that was painted on the other walls. So hubby and I have spent all day, it feels like all day, I'm not sure if we had a later start, not too much of a later start, stripping all the walls, pulling down any pictures, anything that the girls had put up for it being their bedroom, because they did have a hanging rail and things up. Took all of those down, filled all the holes. I say stripping the wallpaper was what took the most, because it's wallpaper that's been painted, some of it, bar the feature wall. And we're trying to move around furniture. And yeah, it takes a while. We finished about 6 o'clock, so not too late. However, the next stage is to sand the walls, because we do now want to paint them. Painting walls rather than wallpapering has become a bit more of a thing, more common in the UK than it used to be. So we do want to just paint the walls and wallpaper, just behind our bed as sort of a feature wall again, but we don't want to wallpaper all the rest for the sake of hiding all the bumps. So we're going to try and fill and sand any bumps. And hubby didn't want to do that at 6 o'clock and not give chance for the dust to settle because of my chest. So we decided to stop for the day, and I had a very nice bath and then was sitting diamond painting. I thought I'll do the WIP Chats because tomorrow hubby is going to, he said he's going to kick me out of bed and then he's going to shut himself in the bedroom and sand the walls and do all of that and do all of the cleanup. And then we have actually picked up some paint that is supposed to be a bit thicker and can be quite good for hiding smaller bumps in walls, because of course our walls were plastered years ago, probably when the house was built. And apparently it can help to hide some of the smaller imperfections in the walls. So we're going to paint that in white. We're going to paint that on tomorrow, hopefully. And then we're going to live with it for, well, it'll be a couple of weeks because we are taking a trip to Edinburgh next weekend with friends. So rather than it just being me and hubby going on a trip, we're actually going with another couple, and we're just going to have an adults weekend away. So I won't be able to finish decorating then. I'm also not going to have loads of time to get videos done over the next week or so. I'll try and get some done tomorrow. However, I said hubby is going to be sanding, and that's going to be the wall that my craft room leads onto, albeit I can't get through the wall, but the bedroom is the other side of the wall, so depending on the noise level it might not be possible for me to film videos. So I will be able to film whatever I can get done through the week after work, because I am still at work. So if you find the odd day that there's not a video, that's why. I'm still going to try and get them all done. But depending on how many I get done, I also need to make sure that I've got some ready for next week as well. So I don't think there'll be a WIP and Chat next week, because I would probably have to film that, you know, over the next few days, and how much more am I going to have to chat about. So there might not be a WIP and Chat unless I get, you know, a chatty waffle going on, which can happen, and find the time to be able to film it. But we're going on the Friday morning, so I do only have a few nights through the week after work. So I'm just going to try and fit in as many videos as I can, but then I'll space them out. So if you find there's not as many, that's why. So yeah, bedroom move went well. Very busy weekend. All of us were absolutely exhausted after it, but it did go well. And now we just need to get our bedroom decorated, which we knew would not be as quick as the girls. We'd already, when we decorated the bedroom upstairs, when me and hubby first moved into it, we did the whole stripping of all the wallpaper, because it used to be wallpaper on those walls as well. And we did the filling and we did the sanding and we did just paint. So we already had done the hard work up there when it was last decorated for us to move into. So for the girls to redecorate there was actually really quick. It actually took me longer to hang the paper because it drove me up the wall with its pattern. So it actually took me longer to hang the paper than I think it did for the 3 girls to give 2 coats to all the walls. But downstairs is definitely going to take longer. And of course, when we've done it this weekend, 2 of the girls were working and Megan was away. So due to that, we haven't had 5 people trying to decorate a room. We have had just the 2 of us. Which definitely doesn't make it as quick. But I didn't want to leave it this weekend, which would have then meant we're away next weekend, which would have meant we wouldn't have touched it till the weekend after. And if anybody knows what life can get like, is you can sort of lose the momentum, can't you? I know I definitely can. The boxes that live under our bed are still stacked in the conservatory because I didn't want to put them under the bed, because it would have probably stopped me from wanting to decorate because it's more stuff to move out. So I tried to leave, you know, just a few things like that, just a few little bits that need tucking somewhere. I tried to not put them back in our room because it would then basically just stop me from decorating. And then if it got put off a week and another week, and before you know it, it's been 6 months and we've still not decorated our room. So I was trying to make it's more of the boxes in the conservatory are annoying me. Therefore, I need to decorate so that I can then put them away. And then the conservatory will be back nice again. And I think that's what's helped to drive me to do some of it this weekend. And while I won't get all the boxes away and under the bed, I will at least feel as though the hard part is done. The stripping of the walls, the painting, the sanding, the filling and the sanding, that's the hard part. After that, even if it's, you know, down to the painting, that's something I could potentially do on an evening, maybe, if I'm not doing videos, or it's something that we can potentially do the weekend after we've come back from Edinburgh, and we can do it all in one weekend, and then we can move everything back. And it will be nice, and life can carry on. That's the hope. I'll keep you posted on how it goes, of course, as always. Okay, I need the little anchor. Very badly drawn by me, but at least I know what the symbol is. So Fee says, glad to see she's not the only one. She also tipped part of her pot earlier on in my WIP and chat. So I'm definitely not the only one that did it last time. We've got a couple of people that did. You're not alone. I did it on the couch last night, I think it was. I tipped a load of white when I was doing this, and they went all over the couch, and I had to sort of faff about picking them up before carrying on with the section that I was doing. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. She said she was actually screwing the pot up, so putting the lid on the pot. She's got no idea what she did. It wasn't the whole pot, thankfully, but it would be the pot. She said it's the pot that had crystals in that she personally bought for the canvas. And hubby was on the phone, so she had to be quiet while in a mild panic. Oops. It's definitely something you want to shout about occasionally when it happens, depending on where it happens. Oh, that one crafty witch says she has a gothic Christmas in her home, and she even has a black Christmas tree. I love it. Love the way Christmas, you can just decorate to what suits your tastes and still, you know, be festive if that is what you want to do. Amy says she's going to do the Advent, but as she has 3 birthdays and 4 nieces and a son to think of in December, she's chose to do one that's going to be her son's birthday for Boxing Day. Oh, I like that idea. That'll make you get it done. You'll have to make sure you do it each day for it to be ready for Boxing Day. Otherwise, you're going to be up Christmas Eve when Santa comes trying to finish it off to make sure it's ready. Diana says, thank you for addressing my question about the smaller trays. She says, good things come to those who wait, as they say. She says she will definitely purchase a white and a grey smaller tray because she likes to use grey for the light coloured diamonds and white for the dark. Yeah, I must say I do like the contrast on my trays of the colours. I do like it when I can see them. Oh, there's a couple more of these over here. How did I miss them? She says it helps her to spot the bad diamonds straight away. Yeah, that is true actually. I think you do notice the ones that are not right a little bit quicker when you've got that contrast. She keeps them side by side and uses whichever one suits her madness. I like it. So yeah, I did discuss in the last WIP and chat, it was asked if we were going to do the smaller zesty trays in our normal colours of pink, grey and white. And yes, we are. But because our normal colours are a standard stock item and therefore not limited, and that's the key, not limited, I want to get as many in stock as I possibly can, because when the trays first came out, we did a pre-order for this size tray, for the Add More Zest tray, or the 4 Kids at 147 tray at the time. We did a pre-order for it and people were absolutely fantastic at waiting for their tray to be printed. But we did have a lot of orders and it did take a good couple of weeks for us to be able to get them all printed and out. And we already had, you know, a few pre-done, if I remember rightly. But the tray has gained popularity since then. Of course, we still sell the standard colours. We still need to be printing the standard colours. It's, you know, they trickle out a little bit more. It's not like we sell as many as we do of a limited colour in 1 week. But, you know, we do still constantly need to be printing those as well. There's always at least one printer is doing a standard colour each time. Occasionally it's 2, depending on how busy it's been. So for the smaller trays, I want to try and dampen that down a bit. I don't want to restrict how many we can sell because it's not a limited edition. But in turn, I don't want people to be waiting too long to be able to have a tray if, you know, they have that much popularity that we've not got enough printed. It's a bit of a tricky one. It's trying to please everybody. So we're thinking the beginning of next year, beginning of 2022, is when we will launch the smaller trays in the smaller size. And depending on how well that goes will depend on whether we have a limited edition tray the month after or not, or whether the printers are too busy printing zesty trays. Time will tell. Susan says she wants to do Mr. Quackers so badly. He is awesome. but she doesn't know what she'll do with him. I don't know what I'm going to do with him, Susan. I have no idea yet. I do have yellow in my hallway, so maybe I'll try and find a place for him there. I do have a bit of yellow in my decor, but I really don't know. I'm doing him purely for the fun. She liked to see the orange tray in play. She managed to get all 3 of them. She says normally she prefers the neutral colours. That's why she has 3 originals. But she was excited, and she does say, I'm hoping you launch the white, pink and grey zesty trays together, as she wants all 3. And she is content to wait for them. It'll give her time to use the new ones and try them for a while. She says as well, even though she's purchased dozens of trays from other companies, she's now using ours exclusively. Sorry, I'm just looking for my next number as well. Because they fit in her hand so well and don't cause the pain of some of the others. Oh, that is good to know. I do find I don't have as much, much of an ache using these. And while this side is sort of wider, I often find that I enjoy holding it like this when I turn it round, when I'm using the other side of the diamonds. It's just a different way to hold the same tray, which can stop your hand feeling as though it's, cramping up or getting funny. I find it's good to turn them round. But yeah, hopefully the beginning of next year, we hope for the normal colours. At the moment, we are planning to launch all 3 at the same time as a stock item. So, beginning of the year can often be a bit of a time when some people often have to watch the pennies a bit more. Many of us do. It's longer between paydays and all that sort of stuff. So by launching something that is not limited, people can wait if they need to wait, and the item will still be available. That's our thought anyway. Brianne says she was so excited to get her order in. She was wanting to try the diamond painting quality of Diamond Art Studio. Do you know, my brain's gone. I actually had to stop stripping wallpaper early on today because I realised I hadn't eaten, and I was like, I cannot do anything until I eat. She says she happened to be unable to sleep, and it was extremely early Saturday morning, and she saw the message for the item in stock and rushed to the website, and she said she was able to get everything she wanted. Even items from the last launch that she was wanting. So yeah, we did have some non-limited items in the last launch. We tried to mix it up a bit, if we can, have some that are limited and some that aren't, so that people can, order when they want to for some things. Because she did want to combine shipping. And she says she's got one of the metal pens on its way. Yes, it's a slimmer version, the metal pens, they're nice. She said, here's hoping shipping doesn't take too long. Hear, I hear you. She says the ports are backed up in the US, and they're saying that even if we shop online, it may not make it for Christmas. Ouch! And that store supplies may be lower due to so many delays. I know UK-wise they're saying that things are going to be out of stock and you are going to be struggling to find some things. I think Christmas toys and things like that are all starting to struggle. She said, sorry to type so much, but thank you for everything you do for us. Oh. Yeah, so the diamond painting that we launched last weekend, which is our exclusive design, but it was made, or the diamond painting was made by Diamond Art Studio UK. because that is their forte and not ours. I may do diamond painting, but I'm definitely more along the organisation route than I am, you know, around creating the diamond paintings. Takes a special kind of special, and Sam did absolutely amazing with creating it. It is a limited edition, that item, but we did order quite a few in because it's a limited design and it is exclusive to us, and we don't have to, you know, wait 3 hours for a printer to print it like we do with the trays. We did order quite a few, so there are still some in stock for those that do want them. And when I say in stock, that is the items that are on their way to us and currently just stuck a little bit in Europe. We did have one shipment arrive, one section of the diamond paintings arrive, and they have already gone on their way to as many of the first international orders as they could. We actually had more international orders than we expected, and more international orders than the stock we had on hand. So if you've not got a dispatch notice yet, it is waiting for the next lot to clear this little customs glip in Europe, and as soon as it's finished its multitude of checks, they will be on their way. So as soon as they arrive, that is a slightly darker colour diamond, don't want that one. As soon as they have arrived with us, I will be, you know, if they arrive this week, there will be even less videos next week because they will be my priority to get out. International first, only due to the amount of time it takes to pack them. I would want to get the international out as soon as possible, followed by the UK. There'll only be a few days probably in between. When I say the UK will wait a bit longer, we're probably only talking a few days because I do pack like a mad woman when I know I have orders waiting. I don't like to make people wait for an order to be dispatched. I know when we did pre-order for the trays, feels like a lifetime ago, but it actually wasn't that long ago. When we did pre-order for trays, I would be known to have the orders there ready, like printed out the pieces of paper, and as soon as a printer came off a tray, I would be packing the order. Even if it didn't get shipped until, you know, we did the postage the night before and took it to the post office the next day. I've even been known to, when it comes to going to the post office, when it was pre-orders, I was just waiting as long as possible, and I'd actually turn around to hubby and say, oh, if you just give me 10 minutes, that printer's got 5 minutes left on it and I can get another order out. So believe me, as soon as those paintings hit, they will be getting, you know, the extra touches that we've added, that we'll be getting those done. They'll be getting wrapped and packed and out the door as soon as I am able, because I am crossing every finger and every toe that they can all get to you in time for the kitting up, and that we don't have countries having a big problem with parcels, or at least not ours. They can have a problem with other ones potentially. Maybe not ones containing things like toilet roll for stores, but you know, we're hoping, crossing fingers, we will do everything we can to get them out as soon as possible, once they've landed. Kathy says, I hope your bedroom moves went well. It did, crazy, but did. She says she usually has her Christmas shopping done on American Thanksgiving weekend. Okay, so that's like November the 24th, is it? I want to say it's November the 24th, Thanksgiving, or maybe is it something that actually moves? Americans, let me know in the comments. Is Thanksgiving on, because I want to say Thursday. I want to say it's on a Thursday. But of course, that wouldn't then be the 24th of every year, would it? Or am I completely off as to when it is? Yeah, let me know. How do they work out when Thanksgiving is? Is it a set day of the year, or does it move, but it's around this date? Or is it like the last Thursday in November? I don't know. She says she usually has her shopping done by then. Sorry, Kathy, I went off on a tangent. But this year she got ambitious and she's doing 4 large diamond paintings for different people as their main present. Wowzers. One's completed, that's good. One is started and the rest are kitted up. So as long as she keeps working on them, she said she should be able to complete them all. Well, that is a challenge and a half. Just need to move that one over because it was blocking my little square. But yeah, fun times. And it's nice to give handmade things for Christmas as well. I think sometimes we think it's not nice, but that's because, you know, maybe if we're crafters anyway, we see it as enjoyable. But when you actually think of the amount of time that goes into it, there are many people that I have given, you know, crafty type stuff that I've done, and they've always been received well, which is good. Oh, Brianne says, you have me ready to rearrange some things at our house now. Oops. To be fair, actually changing our bedrooms has been really, really good for clearing out. You would not, we actually made 2 trips to the Heart Foundation. One on the Saturday, I think, when we did the main, oh no, maybe it was the Sunday. One of the days, I think it was the Saturday actually, from sort of the first move. It was the first move, it was me putting our clothes and stuff away, so maybe it was actually taken on the Sunday. I'm not sure. I know the girls took it. But when we were thinking about moving our bedrooms in a couple of weeks, my thought was, oh, well, you know, we can start getting sorted and I can go through my wardrobe and have a good clear out. I mean, I know I've been at home for 2 years, but there is still some stuff that it's like, okay, when I go out in the big bad world, I'll wear that. But there are some things that I've looked at and I've been like, nah, like I'm not gonna pick that up to wear. And I've been meaning to sort out my wardrobe for probably about a year, and it's just not been done. So my thought was, oh yeah, well, you know, well, I'll go through some stuff and clear out some stuff before we move. Nah, doesn't quite work that way. You get used to, sometimes you just get used to the way things are and you deal with a bit more stuff about, unless you know, really get a spring cleaning type bug. But when the bedroom was upstairs, sometimes it was just like, oh, you know, I'd only remember when I'd go to bed and it'd be like, oh yeah, I was going to do that, because I'm not seeing it all the time. But actually when we moved stuff and it all got moved out of the wardrobe and put on the bed for me to put back in, oh, I went crazy. Even hubby was in the mood to sort out his clothes. So we dropped off a load to the Heart Foundation, mainly from our room. And then the girls moved all their stuff back in on the Sunday. And they were actually off work on the Tuesday. because Keris was working this weekend. Yeah, so she got a day off in the week. So they actually went and took a second lot. So we did get a really, really good clear out. We've had a few trips to the tip with boxes and stuff. And yeah, it was really good for a clear out. It's amazing. So if you rearrange some stuff, it makes it look pretty again, but it also makes you sort out that stuff that you've been meaning to get rid of for ages. Because the boxes that go under my bed, a lot of that is actually holding like house decorations that came out of the front room when it became the girls' bedroom. And because it's going to be probably quite a good while before that room becomes like a front room, a sitting room, a living room again, I'm going to be quite brutal. Once we've got it decorated, I'm going to go through the underbed boxes and try and, the things that I do love and I do really want to keep, I'm going to try and find a place for them where they work in the house as it is now, and let go of the things I'm not as precious about. And then we'll see. There may be a few things that I still really want to keep and they'll go back in the boxes, but I'm hoping to actually pare them down quite a lot, that we either don't need any or don't need many under the bed at all. We'll see how that goes. She also says it's amazing to think Christmas really will be here before we know it. It's a wonderful time of year, but also busy. So she does need to get on with her lists and preparations. Yes, a list is always good, even if it just gets stuff out your head. She says, do you have actual closets or just furniture wardrobes in your home? She says it seems as though we can never have enough storage space. We don't have any sort of fitted closets, like a closet or a walk-in wardrobe or anything like that. It's not a standard thing in the UK. It's not classed as normal in most houses. I know in Australia it's quite a popular thing that there'll be, a walk-in robe or at least a built-in closet. Unfortunately, it's not a big thing. So we do have wardrobes or wardrobes-ish. So my youngest actually she doesn't have a lot of things that she needs to hang. She has, a few tops that need to hang, but apart from that, she tends to use more chest of drawers. And then she does just have one pole, and it's actually a bit like a shop that just sticks out of the wall, and that's where she puts the things that she needs to hang. Caris does like to hang up her clothes, even clothes that can be folded. And what she really wanted was like a hanging rail in her bedroom. So she's managed to get one of those, and she's got that in her bedroom. That's the way she prefers it, to see them all. Lewis has... It's not quite a wardrobe with doors, but it's more of... it's something that IKEA sell, I think, more for like a laundry room. But he loves it. Again, he prefers to be able to see and just grab his clothes. And then we have a wardrobe. She says her bedrooms have closets, but she doesn't have linen closets or space for bathroom supplies. So she had to put shelving units in her bedroom and in her son's to store towels and extra toiletry items. And she said you should post a couple of pictures once your moving and decorating is done. So yeah, I will do... I'll try and put some pictures on Instagram once we're completed. We do actually have a cupboard that we can use for towels and toilet rolls and all that sort of stuff. We didn't used to. We used to have one shelf in the airing cupboard for towels, but we did have our hot water tank, or was it our cold water? No, our cold water tank, I think. I'm sure it's a cold water tank. We did have that moved into the loft a few years back. I got so excited that I was going to have space, more space. And we got some shelves built into the cupboard that came out of. So now I have more space for towels and space to put toilet rolls, and so it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works for me. It's more storage space, and it definitely works. Okay, that went, I don't know whether it went quicker than what I thought or whether I just had more stuff to discuss today, but that was a bit bigger than a normal section. Even though, because I'd done the white on this side, but there was still quite a lot, and there was only a little bit of white on here. But that's another section done, so I do need to move, let me zoom you back out. I do need to move this one up, well, its head's up there, to move that one up. But the only other thing I did want to say, to you all, so in relation to the launch, I know there was a few people that were a little bit disappointed that they missed out on a tray, and they do want to know the time for the launch in the future. We are going to look into that. It didn't enter our heads that we needed to for this one. The reason being is we have had the limited trays for quite a bit now, and they have always sold out quite very fast, but they used to last, well, the last one, the quickest we'd sold out before was 8 hours, which was enough time for it to hit all the time zones for waking up and getting their emails and getting what they wanted. So we didn't think it would be a problem. We actually launched this one at 10 o'clock in the morning our time, which was actually later than we had done previously. So previously it was about 9 o'clock, only an hour, but for the Americans it was still closer to their waking up time than before. So because we'd only ever sold out in 8 hours, it was like, well, we're fine, because the Americans will wake up, they'll get what they want, everybody will be happy. And for the smaller trays, we did actually have a few more, not a huge amount more, but a few more out of the roll because they're smaller. However, the turquoise actually sold out in an hour and a half. The orange was not that far behind, and the pink was not that far behind that. We actually had a few more pink than we did the others just because of the printers and playing nice / mucking ones up. So I am truly sorry that they did sell out. Well, I am and I'm not. I'm not sorry that they've sold out. I am sorry that they sold out that fast, that it didn't give chance for every time zone to be able to order. So we will look and see whether there is a better time zone that we can get that will help everybody to have, you know, the same sort of chance, or whether we can announce a time that we're going to launch so that people can choose to set an alarm and wake up if they want to. We will look at that ready for next month, but it is noted, you know, that those colours are extremely popular, and yeah, we will try and put them back in the cycle as soon as we can. I'm just sorry for those that did miss out, especially because of time zones. But yeah, we've never known a tray to sell out so fast, so we will take note of that, and try and help the next month's launch go a little bit fairer for everybody. But thank you so much for listening to me waffle. I am gonna go get some rest before I'm kicked out of bed so my hubby can sand. and I spend the rest of the day painting. But you have fun whatever you are doing. Try and make sure you get in some diamond painting, a bit like I have this evening, and I'll speak to you all again soon.